I wanted to take a few minutes to go through the looper functionality of the Spark 2. That was requested on one of the comments of a previous video by Don, who was wondering if there was a capability to add drums or something like that to the loops on the Spark 2. And actually, it has three distinct functionalities that sort of allow us to do that, and I will show you on the iPad app of the Spark 2 how that works. So we basically have the simple looper. The simple looper, it does what you would expect it to do. So it loops through either a set amount of bars to a set amount of BPM, and you can change the count from straight to something else, to like a shuffle sort of thing. You can adjust the BPM settings. Let's do something chill, like maybe 80 BPM. And then you can either start the loop by pressing on the record button here, or you can use a foot switch. Because I want to make this as easy as possible, I'm going to start the count directly from the app. And from there, it will actually count me in. It will give me a couple of beats to get into the groove, and then we record what I set it for. I set it for 4 bars at 80 BPM right now, so let's give that a shot. And there you go. It basically just starts playing. Now there's a few things that you can do. There's a settings button down here, and you can actually adjust the sound, the volume of the loop. So basically the guitar that's playing, but also of the click sound in the background. If you choose to have a click sound, I find that pretty annoying. But having the ability to change the volume of the guitar, it's actually really useful if you want to start soloing over it a little bit. Etc., etc. You get the gist. So that's the first mode. And then the second one, it's a little bit more involved, and this comes down to the question whether there are drums in here. You can use the so-called groove looper, not the drum looper, but the groove looper is what gives you a drum loop in the background. So in addition to the settings that we just had, we'll again have a length of 4 bars, we'll have 80 BPM, we're doing a straight count. You can now add a drum set here. And you can see there's a very long list of drum loops here. They aren't very descriptive. They will tell you it's pop 142 or rock 126, whatever that means. But they give you an option to preview these. So you can just press play, preview. All right, that's pretty straightforward. I'll just pick that for the purposes of this demonstration. And then again, you can start the loop either by clicking on your foot switch, if you happen to have one, or simply pressing here the record button on the screen. It will count you in, and you get to record your loop again. And now again, you have a couple of options here. For the volume, you can lower or raise the volume of the guitar, and you can also lower or raise the volume of the drums. This I find particularly useful because you might not want to hear the guitar as much, but you might want to hear the drums to keep the beat. And then of course you can just start soloing over it again. All right. That's the second mode, and then the third mode, which is kind of interesting because I think it uses AI or some such thing, is the so-called Smart Jam. So in Smart Jam, you can pick a person to jam along with you, and they have sort of distinct feels. I'm not using it very much, but let's jam with Dave, and you can either tap a tempo, or you can pick a tempo. Let's do 80 BPM again, so we have the same all throughout the demonstration. And then the difference is here, when I press start, I just play something, some chords, whatever it is, and it will recognize what I'm playing. The first time you set this up, it will actually ask you to set it close to the speaker. I think no further than like a half a meter away from the Spark 2 speaker. I think so it can hear what you're playing. It'll recognize what you're playing, and then it will create a drum and bass track in the background that goes along with that, and then you can just keep jamming over it. So let's try that. I'll press start, and then here's the count-in. Now it recognized that this is a full bar and that it can loop that, so I can actually press on the little check mark, which wasn't there before, or I can restart it. So we'll press in the check mark. Now it says composing, and it will compose the backing. So Dave is gonna go and play the bass and the drums for us. And there's a couple of different tracks. You can swipe through them, pick the one that you like. That has a nice groove. Not so much. Okay. Well, this does sound pretty relaxed. So yeah, let's jam with that. All right, certainly not my best work ever, but I think it demonstrates the point. And those are the three, I think, main sections of the looper where you can use an accompaniment, drum tracks, even an automated bass track to go along with what you're playing. And I think that's plenty. You could use a little foot switch, like I have the Spark Control X here. That makes it a bit easier to either, you'll press it to start recording the loop, then you don't have to have the count in here. It functions more like a regular looper with a normal amplifier, if you have one, if you're used to something like that. Or you can also go ahead and switch the tones of the guitar or of the preset. I had a pretty distorted one here now. I could go to, maybe something that's a little bit more clean for the accompaniment versus the lead. So, that might help with the looper function. Otherwise, I think you're going to be just dandy with the three functions that are available on it.